Сьогодні багато в медіа говорять про те, що ми отримали дозвіл на відповідні дії. Але удари завдають не словами. Такі речі не анонсують. Ракети самі за себе скажуть. Обов'язково. Слава Україні!
Back home. It's no secret that I'm leaving office in January. I will leave my successor and my country in a strong foundation to build on. Thank you very, very much.
Речь идет не о том, чтобы разрешать украинскому режиму наносить удары по России этим оружием или не разрешать. Речь идет о том, чтобы принять решение о том, что страны НАТО напрямую участвуют в военном конфликте или нет. Если это решение будет принято, это будет означать не что иное, как прямое участие стран НАТО, Соединенных Штатов, европейских стран в войне на Украине. Это их прямое участие. И это уже, конечно, существенным образом меняет саму суть, саму природу конфликта. Это будет означать, что страны НАТО, США, европейские страны воюют с Россией. А если это так, то, имея в виду изменение самой сути этого конфликта, мы будем принимать соответствующие решения, исходя из тех угроз, которые нам будут создаваться.
That was Zelensky essentially telling Russia and Putin that the missiles will speak for themselves. Hey everyone, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. Bring the thunder. 5 words to strike fear into Putin. Zelensky gives chilling video address ahead of the U.S. missile strikes deep into Russia, as Kiev plans to unleash his first long-range strikes in the coming days, according to sources. Well, we'll see. We shall see. There's already been deep strikes inside of Russia, guys, in case we forget. Okay, the drones that Ukraine has had deployed inside of Russia, all the way to Moscow. You know, there was attacks on the Kremlin with drones not long ago. So they've already had deep strikes into Russia. The question being this time, as Putin was saying in that clip I just showed you, the question being now, well, what do we do next? How does this change the conflict? How does Russia respond when it is clear at this point that NATO and the United States are directly involved in the conflict? And they have been from day one. So I don't know why he's, making this long range thing such an issue. Because they've been using NATO intelligence and NATO troops and NATO weapons since day one of the conflict. So I don't understand why this particular issue would be such a sticking point. Although, of course, he's got hawks in his administration, Putin does, that will force him out of power if he doesn't do something when these long-range strikes occur. So I would imagine they're going to get pushed to a point of no return at this point. I mean, that's just my gut feeling on it, but we'll see. Because it is the moment of truth, as it says here in Andrew Korybiko's newsletter on Substack. It's the moment of truth. How will Russia respond to Ukraine's use of Western long-range missiles? That's a great question. I'm going to scroll down here a little ways. He's got a nice map here showing you the different places they could hit now with these attacking missiles. And like he said, it remains unclear what Putin will ultimately do. But whichever of these two choices he makes will determine the trajectory of this conflict from now on. That's just pretty much what Putin said. Either more escalation or a possible compromise. So, as we know, reports emerged on Sunday that the U.S. finally approved Ukraine's request to use long-range attack missiles against targets inside of Russia's pre-2014 borders, which was followed by other reports claiming that France and UK then followed suit with their Storm Shadow missiles. And I think France's are called the Scalp. But they've yet to be used at this time of writing, but Zelensky ominously implied, as I just showed you, later that day that this could happen very soon. The reason why this is the moment of truth is because Putin earlier warned that it would amount to NATO's direct involvement in the conflict. And so I'm going to scroll down here a little ways to get to the point. Realistically speaking, however, all that's likely to happen between then and now is that Russia carries out more missile strikes against military targets in Ukraine. Nothing extraordinary like spectacular use or speculative use of tactical nukes or bombing NATO is expected, both possibilities of which were addressed in the pieces that were enumerated in the earlier analysis about Russia's updated nuclear doctrine. At most, it might destroy a major bridge across the Dnieper or carry out decapitation strikes, but even those are unlikely. Putin is averse to escalation, since he sincerely fears everything spiraling out of control into World War III. Time and again, precedent proves that he'll do his utmost to avoid that worst-case scenario, as proven by him refusing to significantly escalate after Ukraine bombed the Kremlin. Russia's early warning systems, remember that? They also hit Russia's early warning radars, their strategic airfields, the Crimean Bridge, oil refineries, residential areas, among its many other targets. There is accordingly no reason to expect him to jump out of character and significantly escalate after this. Having said that, though, sometimes even the most patient people snap, and it's always possible that Putin might have had enough and decide to do what many of his supporters have wanted to from the get-go. This could take the form of replicating the U.S. shock and awe bombing campaign, no longer caring about civilian casualties, and proverbially throwing the kitchen sink at Ukraine. In other words, Russia could take a page from Israel's playbook, as was explained here, which could raise the odds of a maximum victory. But if he stays the course and doesn't escalate after Ukraine uses Western long-range missiles against targets inside of Russia's pre-2014 borders, then that could be seen as yet another goodwill gesture, which would then be aimed at making it easier for Trump to broker a peace deal. The trade-off, though, is that he might be convinced by some of the hawks around him into interpreting this as weakness, thus emboldening him to escalate to de-escalate and leading to serious opportunity costs for Russia. So I'll leave it there and let you read the rest on your own. I think you get the point. It could go either way. And Putin has, and Russia has gone out of their way to avoid escalation no matter what Ukraine and NATO have done. But we'll see. Once again, we have to watch. We watch and we wait to see what happens. But wow, it certainly is an escalation. There's no question about it. And then, if you remember this was about a week or so ago, November 11th. So yeah, exactly a week ago. We had a flash report from Hal Turner and others like this over at Newsweek. Russia issues ominous warning about undersea internet cables. Hal Turner did the same thing. But Russia was saying that the US and UK plan to blow them up. Why? To disrupt international trade and shipping, and then blame Russia, China, and North Korea for it. So apparently the world is too informed for the liking of the West, and shutting off international internet access will cut off the free flow of information long enough for them to start World War III, and then, of course, blame Russia, China, and North Korea for it, which they would blame them for the cables as well, which they're already starting to do as of today. Germany and Finland investigate a severed data cable through the Baltic Sea. So what Russia predicted a week ago is now coming true as of this morning. Germany and Finland expressed deep concern over the discovery Monday of a severed undersea data cable between the countries through the Baltic Sea, saying it raised suspicions of sabotage and an investigation was underway. The foreign ministries of the two countries said in a joint statement that the damage comes at a time that our European security is not only under threat from Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine, but also from hybrid warfare by malicious actors. The statement said the countries were investigating the incident and that it was crucial that such critical infrastructure be safeguarded. He said the fact that such an incident immediately raises suspicions of intentional damage speaks volumes about the volatility of our times. Now, could Russia be responsible? Yes, it's possible. But so could the US and the UK, as it says here. Because guess who blew up the Nord Stream pipelines? It wasn't some rogue Ukrainian intelligence unit who was doing it off somebody's fancy yacht. Give me a break. The only countries with the technical expertise to blow them up like that, the way they did, is the US and the UK. And Russia, I suppose, could do it too. But why would they want to when it was their pipeline? Just saying. And now they want us to believe that Russia's the one cutting these cables, or could be the ones. When in fact, Russia was the one that issued the warning a week ago about this very thing happening. So just saying, guys, it all seems to be coming out now. And now we have this moment of truth. How will Russia respond to these long-range weapons that they're definitely going to launch? And we have Sweden telling their citizens to prepare for war as 5 million households get pamphlets on how to get their home ready for nuclear Armageddon, as Biden is accused of trying to start World War III. So Sweden is sending out 5 million pamphlets to residents, urging them to prepare for the possibility of war, with instructions on how to stockpile food and even seek shelter during a nuclear attack, as fears grow of a conflict between Russia and NATO. So we'll see. I'll put that link up as well, as I always do. I'm just letting you know what they're doing in the rest of Europe. And that'll be it for now. I'll keep my eyes on all this as much as possible. But I do have another story coming up later today that will have to do with natural health and the results people are seeing from DMSO. And we'll be covering that here later this afternoon. And in case you're not aware, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for everything that we do. I put a lot of stuff here that we can't speak about anywhere else. Over 2,000 stories now. Actually, we're over 2,500, I believe. Wow. Since 2018 is when I started this website. So all kinds of things you can look at here. And if you want to navigate the site, it's pretty easy right up here on top. We're on Rumble, BitChute, Telegram. We're also on YouTube. I took that link down because I wasn't sure we're going to be for much longer. But anyway, Telegram is here, BitChute, Rumble, and so on. All these links from don'tspeaknews.com. And then if you'd like to support us, because we're listener supported only, you can click the channel support button. And all the links are right here. They're also at the bottom of every website posting. And then if you'd like a new VPN because you need one, we have NordVPN here that we offer. And right now you can get 74% off and 3 extra months for free by signing up under their Black Friday deal. And click here if you get that 74% off discount. And of course, there's all kinds of reasons why you should have a VPN, especially Nord, which is rated excellent and the best VPN overall by PC Mag and Forbes. So that link is up here as well if you need a VPN. All that and more right here at don'tspeaknews.com. And that's it for now. Head on the swivel, prayed up and prepped up at all times. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.